Hey guys, it's Jim here, and I think this is going to be the last update on the UPS situation since they have indeed issued me a check. Now, to pick up where we left off on Monday, I called and I got somebody on the phone that was amazing. She was so good, in fact, I begged her to give me her direct line so that I could call her and only deal with her for the rest of this terrible process. However, I was told that's not an option. She informed me that the last thing needed was a second copy of the invoice because I was the seller and the receiver, and they wanted to verify that it was all the same. They said once I did that, I could call back on Tuesday and the claim should go through. And she said that they were going to do the full amount of $3,000. So I waited for 24 hours. I checked the UPS website to make sure it was done, and it said the thing was complete and that I could call. I called, I got a representative, and I stayed calm for all of this. I think because I saw the writing on the wall here. And she said, no, well, we have to cap it. It's policy. It's going to be $1,000. And I explained, I talked to somebody yesterday, that said that they understood the situation and that they were going to do the full $3,000. She says there's no record of that. And I have no way of proving it, obviously, even though they record phone calls. Now, where does that leave me? I said, you know what, just never mind. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to call back and I'm going to get somebody else. Now, that ended up being a mistake. But I called back. I waited. Something was going on. I think they might have been working on this account or the case while I was waiting. It took me 20 minutes to connect to somebody. And I get on the phone with somebody and I explain the whole thing, and she, repeats the same kind of information back at me. And I said, no, I'm like, I can't. Like, you guys, there's accountability here. You guys have to be somewhat accountable. So she said, do you want to talk to my supervisor? And I said, yeah. And at this point, I did something I haven't done yet. I turned on the camera and I decided to put the conversation on speakerphone so that I could document all of it and really, share it with you guys. As long as I let her know I was recording it, and I did, and she said it was okay. So here's, that conversation.
Good morning. Thank you for holding. My name is Stephanie. I'm Katrina's supervisor. How can I help you?
Hi, Stephanie. I'm frustrated. Yesterday I called to try and finalize this claim. As you can see, I put $3,000 of insurance on it, and she said, oh, that's not a big deal. We can take care of that, but we're missing one invoice receipt or something like that for the thing. And if you upload it today, then tomorrow it should be in the system. We can call up and we can finalize the claim itself. And so when I called up today, I spoke with somebody prior to Katrina, and they tried telling me that now, opposite of what I was told yesterday, that I was only going to be getting $1,000 for a package, that I rightfully put the right amount of shipping on, and I told her I didn't want to do that and I wanted to call somebody else. So I called back to Katrina now to see if I could possibly get somebody else, and I'm being told the same thing, and I'm really frustrated here.
Okay. Well, I certainly apologize you were given incorrect information. The representative you spoke with yesterday was supposed to, based on my instruction, give you a call, and she stated that she left a voicemail explaining the liability limit of the claim would be $1,000 because it was dropped off at an authorized shipping outlet.
I never got a voice. I know. I'm not gonna yell. I promise. I yelled enough on Friday when I was being lied to multiple times. But you have to understand, this package was bigger than a teenage child. This package was insured correctly. You acknowledge that you lost this package as a company. Not you, but as a company. You acknowledge that you lost this package. And the fact that there is not only inaccurate information, depending on which rep I'm getting on the phone, but at the end of the day, there's no accountability. And I don't see how this is fair, or this is right.
Okay, did you create the shipment label?
I did.
Create the shipping?
I did. It said you must drop it off at a UPS store. So I went to a store that had a UPS logo and said the UPS store. I didn't go to one of those parcel places that says FedEx, post office, UPS. It wasn't an all-in-one thing. This was labeled as the UPS store. And I was moving across the country, so I did what I thought was the right thing, and what a company that I thought I could trust enough
to get a guitar of that value sent to me safely. So now not only do I lose a guitar that's not just a normal guitar, it's not like something you buy at the store. This took 2 years to build. And now with the shutdown, it's probably going to be, I don't even know how long it's going to be to replace it, and I won't be able to afford to replace it because of this inadequate claim amount.
So you said in reference to your shipping receipt, the receipt you received that printed out, did 2 copies print out or did 1 copy print out?
1 copy printed out. 1 copy printed out.
At the top of that receipt, did it request a driver's signature or to be signed for?
Yes, it said in order to get this package fully insured, you must drop it off and get a receipt for it, which I did.
Okay, can you provide me that receipt?
It's uploaded in the. I did already upload it in the claim file. That should be in there.
Okay, bear with me.
No, it's fine. I'm not mad at you. I'm just.
Let me go back to the dashboard, because when I checked the dashboard yesterday, it was not there. The only thing that was there was your invoice.
All right, and I think I do have it anyways. Again, I could put it in like right now again that I did get a drop-off receipt.
I'm not looking for the drop-off receipt. I'm looking for the actual receipt with your shipping instructions that you printed out.
Oh God.
That's what we're looking for. The reason why that's very important is because on that receipt, it gives specific instructions. It does tell you not to take it to the UPS store because it has to be signed for based on the value of the package. And if it wasn't signed for, it wasn't given to a UPS driver, the liability limit is $1,000. That's the most that the UPS store can accept the package for being shipped out, unless it's something they actually process and charge their customers for. Anything that they accept outside of that, the liability limit drops to $1,000, and that's what the representatives have been trying to explain to you.
I understand that, but I think this is immoral and wrong. You know what you did. You guys know what you did, and you're playing semantics. Can you not at least can you at least not step back and look at it from my perspective, please? I'm being very calm here. Can you at least not step back and look at this from my perspective? I didn't do anything wrong.
Unfortunately, I can't.
You can't.
I have to follow policy and procedure.
The policy and procedure is I paid a very expensive amount of money to ship a very expensive guitar, and I insured it correctly. And just so you know, I am recording this. So this is going to be hilarious.
I don't have a problem with you. Okay, I don't care about you recording the call.
I know. Well, I don't appreciate this attitude. I know you're talking to me like I'm a child. I understand. You're going by policy.
Okay, I understand that you're frustrated. And I understand why. I'm very familiar with the Sweetwater Company. I'm very familiar with the music equipment, et cetera, et cetera. And I understand that due to the pandemic, I don't care what you're trying to get, even cords at this particular time are on back order, and it's not something that's readily available and at your fingertips. So I can imagine the frustration you're feeling right now, because this is something that's custom made, and being that it took 2 years to get it done originally, it's going to take even longer at this point. So I do understand and respect that. Unfortunately, even if I look at it from your standpoint, it doesn't change what I'm able to do for you.
All right, well, can I ask you then?
Very specific regarding what we can pay the claim for. So what we're doing at this point is we're sending the claim to our licensed adjuster. They're going to review it for finalization.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you would recommend me doing then? Because obviously I'm not going to be happy with that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Well, I don't know. There's no point in getting angry. You're going to do what you have to do. I understand that's your job, but I don't just looking for any way to get out of anything as a company, not you. This is unbelievable. All right, well, I'll take my shekels, my pennies for what that guitar is worth, and you know, enjoy your paycheck. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
They don't care.
I think the most frustrating part has to be the fact that this woman specifically, this supervisor, knows about music, and she knows how bad things are backed up. And she understood how valuable that is and how not replaceable it is. And she still didn't care. And it took a lot to just not lose it. But I mean, I lose. At the end of the day, if I lose it, I lose. If I, just take it, I lose. At this point, I'm dead in the water. They're going to give me $1,000 for this guitar. The case has been closed. There's no modification that's going to happen to it. So what have we learned from this? Well, if you have a guitar that's $1,000 or more, you should never, ever go to the UPS store to drop it off. That's the first thing I learned. If you're going to have to do that, schedule a UPS pickup. I know it's like 10 or 15 bucks extra. When you're filling out the form online, have the UPS driver come to your house or your place of business and pick the thing up. That way, this will never happen to you. We've also learned that UPS, despite all of these chances to try and do the right thing here, they refuse to do so, and that's just the kind of company they are. I wish this was just one person that was acting like this, but unfortunately all of them except the one rep yesterday who I, wasn't able to get back in touch with, they were all on the same page and basically said it's my fault that they lost a gigantic box with a guitar that was invaluable to me. And considering I'm only getting $1,000 back for this, guys, I cannot replace a Gibson Dove with $1,000 instrument. That's just not happening. But, I mean, it is what it is. So I hope you learned something from this story and learned from my mistakes and, learned a little bit about the people at UPS and how they are. That's pretty much going to be it, I think. Before I go, yesterday's video, somebody asked me to comment on what is happening in Colombia, and because it's my home country, it's where I was born. But I don't want to get into politics. I will say this. What's happening there is a travesty. It's a disgrace. It is an actual abuse of government, and the people there have had enough. And what I will kind of get to, which is something that well before this has been bothering me, I feel like in this country people aren't appreciative of how good things are here. And people like to manufacture little things into gigantic problems when in reality, they're really, in the grand scheme of things, they're not genuine life or death problems. They're inconveniences at best. And I realize I'm posting this at the end of a video where, I'm upset that a big corporation screwed me out of a few $1,000s. But I mean, I'm going to live. At the end of the day, I'm very fortunate. Look behind me. I'm doing okay. This does suck, but I have enough perspective to know that the rest of my life is awesome. And we live in a place where, and it doesn't matter what you are or where you're from, you can succeed here. You can do pretty much anything. And nowhere is perfect. The United States is not perfect, but I think we take for granted how good we have it here. And this is another example of somewhere where they would quite literally kill to have it even as bad as we do. But that's where we're going to wrap things up, you guys. I'm sorry to get into such a serious thing at the end there, but sometimes we all need, a little look in the mirror and realize things aren't as bad as they could be. If you like what I'm doing, please leave me a like. I really do appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate everybody that has been, kind of supportive during this. We did not get the outcome that we wanted or, quite frankly, that we deserve, but I mean, that's life. Like I said, goes on. I'm going to live. I'm just fine. I got a roof over my head. And tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at the Orange OR15. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in this crazy world. Take care.